Caution, I'm a hack. I learned everything I know from a guy leaned against a shade tree, having a drink and smoking a cigarette. Hey, welcome back to Forsaken Steel. So, last week I built some wood cribbing to go under the wheels and tires of this car to level it up and get it as high as I could. I'm going to be truthful. I started a different video this week. We were going to do some exhaust work and stuff, and then realized that some of the parts I'd ordered hadn't shown up yet. So I checked my emails. They had definitely sent me an email and said, hey, these are on back order. And then I did some, clicking on the tracking number. It's supposed to be here today, but today is Wednesday, and normally I release a video on Tuesday, so I'm already a day late. My bad. So we're going to shift gears and put these subframe connectors in. These are BMR subframe connectors. One of the things they said is the car needed to be on all four wheels and tires, supported by them, before you installed them. That's the biggest reason I built these stands. So let's get after it, and I'm going to show you a little bit about the subframe connector, and then I'll show you how they go in. Note to the wise, I've never done this before. Like a lot of the stuff I'm doing on this channel, we're just making it up as we go. I read the instructions and do the best we can. So I'm going to get down there, and I'll show you what we've got, and we'll figure it out from there. I don't believe it's going to be too bad. So here's our subframe connector. This is the driver's side. It's got a pocket up here at the top, and that'll go through to where the lower control arm is for the rear end. I don't know if you can weld that through or not, but you definitely bolt it in there. And then I'm pretty sure we can weld it in. We'll see what we can do there. And then that end down there welds to the actual subframe of the car. And it also says you can weld the pinch weld into the center section for more support. And they give you some tabs for that. We're probably not going to do that. This isn't a track only car, so a tiny bit of flex ain't going to matter. But this will take most of the flex out of it. So, yeah, let me show you where they go. We'll get in here and see if we can't get it done. All right, so we're under the car here. We're at the back. Here is the area that the back will go to. It just goes right up over this pocket, like so. And then that bolt fits through it. And it does look like we're going to be able to weld parts of it, at least across the bottom down here. So what I'll do is I'll kind of scribe a line around it, and we got to remove the undercoating and paint on both items, on this and this, to get that up in there. And they do tell you this part, and I'm going to tell you again, you only do one side of this thing at a time, because the rear end is held in place by that lower control arm. Not entirely, but mostly. You would not want to take both sides loose, and it'd be very unsafe. So also looking at it, sorry about all the racket up in there, it's about, if you were thinking you just weld it to the pinch weld, it's about an inch away from the pinch weld of the car. So I guess you could beat the pinch weld over and weld to it if you really wanted to, but they, like I said, they do send plates to weld to both pieces if you're so inclined. And then we'll look down here. Let's see where my exhaust drag's so bad. We're gonna fix that. Stuff for that's coming. So let me kind of show you where it lands down on the other end. And here again, I'll mark this and then grind it down, and we'll go from there. So approximately right there. So I'll mark all that up and get us ground down, and we'll get this thing welded in and stiffen this car up some. First thing I'm going to do is take this bolt out. We'll hang this side. We'll push it all up here. We'll mark it. Then we'll do some grinding. Alright, that's out. So there's where it lands. Of course, it is bolted in. I think I'm gonna have to get a longer bolt back there. I was wanting to weld that up, but that's a pretty large gap. Yeah, I could fill it up with weld, but that ain't gonna be strong. It doesn't call for that to be welded, but back there, but it does call for it to be welded up here. So let me get this marked up here, and we'll see if we can get that ground down. All right, I've got that marked. I'll hit it with a flap disc. I drug this out from under the car. I'm going to grind this up right quick, and then we'll see if we can get it in there and start some welding. Alright, it's cleaned up, definitely good enough to weld. I'm going to drag the welder out and over here, and we'll see what we can make happen. Alright, I've got this back section through, got the bolt through it. I might be able to run a weld in here, I might try it, but that's pretty thin compared to what this is. I don't think it's actually going to be much advantage. And then up here I have the jack holding that up. I think we get a arc going on that and weld those up just fine. This is what we're going to do. Let me show you what's up back here in the back and what we've got done. So I went ahead and put in the lower control arm. BMR provides us with a new bolt, a longer bolt, and it comes with a nylock nut. And I got that through there. And I want to go ahead and tighten this down because there's a gap. It'll be kind of hard to see, but I want to make sure that it takes up these gaps on both sides. And that's good and tight. And then I've got a small 90-degree grinder, and I'm going to get in here and just take the material off and weld the inside of the pocket up, and then the back side of this. And that's pretty much what you can get to with the welder, but that should be more than enough. And that's pretty well got this wrapped up. I did have to put a ratchet strap on the rear end, and it goes back to the frame. I had to pull the rear end back, I don't know, maybe a little less than a little more than a 16th. I don't know, 16th, something like that. But then the bolt slid right in. So we'll get the air compressor set up that I have. I got a little one. Hopefully it'll do it. And we'll get this ground down and get this welded in. And I think this side's going to be done. Got my fancy air compressor out. We're going to grind that little bit in the back and weld everything we can up. I wish I'd have ground it down beforehand, but here we are. I hooked this up. I've got a little die grinder in there and we'll get after it. Hopefully you can see this. BMR's hardware is 3/4. Thanks, BMR. I'd hate for it to be metric. Calls for 100 foot-pounds, so about 1 elbow click. There we go. 1 elbow click. Okay, so this is where you make fun of me, but I am using a flux core welder. This will hold. It is not pretty at all, and yeah, it is what it is. It'll be fine. So definitely going to be a lot stronger than it was. I tried to weld the front side of that, but the gap was too big, and I got to thinking I couldn't grind up in here. But I mean, seriously, that should be more than enough to do what we're trying to do here, just stiffen this body up some. So we're getting close to being done with this side, but we ain't quite there. We need to do a few more little things, one of which hit all this with a wire brush so we can put some paint on it. I'm actually going to use the Raptor bed liner that I put all over the rest of the bottom of the vehicle, though. Hopefully my big head ain't in y'all's way. And do the same thing back here. Good enough for hooks 4. Alright, the final step to wrap it all up, we got to put the sticker on, right? If you're curious where to put it, I'm doing the exact measurement of eyeballing it. And it looks pretty good about right there. You should do a better job than me of putting it on. Yeah, and there we go. Good enough. And there you kind of have it. It's all wrapped up. Well, I got the driver's side wrapped up. I'm going to go ahead and just do the passenger side. If anything interesting happens, I'll let you know. I doubt it. It's pretty easy to do once you know how. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it, and I'll show it to you when I'm done. Well, here's your passenger side done. All welded up, painted. Yeah, kind of looks all right under here. There you have it. It's all wrapped up. I'm happy with how they turned out. This car, I mean, any T-top car that has any kind of power needs subframe connectors of some sort. I'm sure that my way of putting them in, maybe in the absolute correct way or whatever. I know my welding is ugly, but it will hold. BMR, you know, they're not going to see this and send me a cease and desist because I didn't weld it in every single spot available, I'm sure. So it'll be fine. This is still just a street car, really. It may see a little bit of track time if I could get to go autocross it or something, you know. But it's not a track car by any means. Definitely not a drag car by any means. So, with that being said, I think it'll be just fine. I've got about 10 hours in installing them. I don't think that's too bad considering I was making a YouTube video. Any of you that have ever made a YouTube video knows that it takes, you know, twice as long when you're making video. If you were in a shop that worked all the time, you get this up in the air and you get underneath it, you probably get this done in, you know, 3 hours. But, you know, lay on your back and welding, welding on your back is one of the worst places to weld. There's just no fun in it at all. And I'm sure lots of you know that too. So I do appreciate everybody watching. I will, you know, see you on the next video. I may start dropping videos on Fridays. I'm seriously considering that because I'm not going to have time to finish the other video in time for Tuesday. So let me know what you think. Tuesday nights or Fridays? And it'd be Friday mornings probably. Sometimes Friday nights, but probably Friday mornings. Just put in the comments, Tuesday or Friday. I can infer from that what you mean. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.